Right, top story news that we're breaking to you here on the bulletin. An uprising could well be brewing in the BJP against Nitin Gadkari. Reports have come forth say that some BJP leaders want the president to go. Just a day after Mahesh Jethmalani quit the BJP national executive saying that he couldn't work under Gadkari, other leaders have now started joining the cry against the BJP president. Now, apart from Mahesh Jethmalani, other leaders, senior leaders I might add, like Yashwant Sinha, Jaswant Singh and Ram Jethmalani are opposed to the continuance of Nitin Gadkari as BJP president. Now, this group of elders is jointly plotting its strategy. They believe that Nitin Gadkari's continuance is bad for the party's image. This group hopes to act as a pressure group to force Nitin Gadkari to step down. Managing editor Rahul Kaval now joins us with more inputs. Rahul, a big embarrassment this coming out for the BJP. All this happening very much in the public domain as well.
Aditya, what we've learned from our sources in the BJP is that Mahesh Jethmalani was just the tip of a massive rebellion that's brewing against Mr. Nitin Gadkari. Mahesh Jethmalani acted as a tipping point. Now pressure is beginning to mount. I'm told that there is a cabal of elders, which includes his father Ram Jethmalani, which includes Yashwant Sinha, which includes people like Jaswant Singh, Shanta Kumar, Murli Manohar Joshi. Several of these very senior leaders now believe that Nitin Gadkari has become toxic for the BJP, that Nitin Gadkari should be asked to go immediately. They believe the longer he stays, and if he continues till the winter session of Parliament, which starts on the 22nd of November, the BJP's moral edge on the issue of corruption completely gets blunted. They want Nitin Gadkari to be asked to quit immediately. This group believes that Mohan Bhagwat, as the RSS president, was instrumental in planting Nitin Gadkari as the BJP president, and therefore has now made it a matter of prestige and is not prepared to let Nitin Gadkari go. This group, this cabal, believes that the BJP should cut its losses, ask Nitin Gadkari to go, but the RSS is insisting, because as you've been breaking on Wake Up India and now on Breaking at 10, the RSS believes, and Gadkari has been able to convince the RSS top brass in Nagpur that it was an insider who essentially ensured that all these allegations surfaced in the first place, and that was done to strip the RSS's best laid plans ahead of 2014, which is why the RSS so far backing Nitin Gadkari publicly. But given the mounting pressure, and I'm told over the next 48 hours, there is a possibility that other BJP leaders too might come out and publicly voice their dissent that Mahesh Jethmalani was just the first. If that happens, it would be enormously damaging for the Bharatiya Janata Party, and that is what we'll currently see build up, Aditya.
Rahul, on the face of it, the RSS, Mohan Bhagwat, I remember speaking on the foundation day of the RSS to a headlines reporter saying that, this was an internal matter for the BJP to decide, but the fact of the matter is they will be very concerned. They have to look for an alternative as well, because the situation is fast growing out of control.
Well, in some senses, Mahesh Jethmalani's resignation from the National Executive Council has triggered off a set of events which will now unfold over the next couple of days, because this wasn't done as an isolated outburst by an agitated Jethmalani. This has been in the pipeline for very long now. Ram Jethmalani had told us when we spoke to him in London that he wanted to come back and meet Nitin Gadkari, that Nitin Gadkari wanted to meet him. He's been back since last Sunday. More than a week has passed. Gadkari hasn't given him the time of day. Gadkari clinging on to the last straws of support from the RSS. But those straws might not hold, because we're told, as leaders like Shanta Kumar, who was very wary of Gadkari continuing to campaign in Himachal. In fact, he sent word to senior leaders in Delhi that he didn't want Gadkari to campaign any further because he was blunting their edge on corruption, which is why Gadkari had actually to come back. Now, these are things that are building up, and it's getting very embarrassing for the Nagpur boy. He's the blue-eyed boy of the RSS, but that cannot hold beyond a point. And within the BJP, this is now building up. The fissures of anger, they're now building up. And we'll see events take very dramatic turns over the next few days.
Well, handpicked by the RSS, wasn't he? Now it's becoming a big problem for them. Rahul, just stay on for a moment. Let's also get a perspective from Deputy Editor Kartikeya Sharma joining us with a sense of how the Congress is reacting to all of this. Digvijay Singh Kartikeya had come out and said that we're happy if Nitin Gadkari remains the president of the party because it's only going to benefit us. Seems like it is working to their opinion, to the way they want it to happen.
You see, Rahul summed up well. Nitin Gadkari has travelled the road from being an embarrassment to the political party to becoming a political liability for them. And that is why Mr. Jethmalani and Mahesh Jethmalani's son, they are just the face of the faced with a larger seething anger within Bharatiya Janata Party, because he is being accused by Congress that, you know, you have a leader at national stage who is president of the party who has not come out of the Nagpur style politics. You know, these are accusations which makes Nitin Gadkari look small. People don't take him seriously in Delhi, and Congress is laughing all the way back to Lok Sabha, because ultimately what Gadkari has done for the Congress, he has taken actually air out of the Bharatiya Janata Party's campaign against corruption. That's what has happened. It has hurt their anti-corruption campaign. Now, in the context in which Gadkari is being attacked, both intellectually as a leader of national stature who's supposed to be running for the second term for the presidentship of Bharatiya Janata Party, and a person who can lead the attack from front. He has completely shattered all those three planks, and Congress is very happy to find that for the first time after 8 to 9 months, BJP is focused inwards. It's looking defensive. You have leaders with second opinions or different opinions on whether Mr. Gadkari should continue or not, giving breathing space to the Congress party when it comes to their own scams like Colgate, 2G, Commonwealth. The list for Congress problem or the scams which are associated with them are endless. But then Gadkari gives them breathing space, and this is what the senior leader that Rahul was saying are of the view that he is becoming a liability, because ultimately leadership should drive the party forward, not create an inertia where organization cannot move.
Rahul, and this is, you know, the latest trigger and what has become a series of issues for the BJP to tackle, not just, you know, as a party with its struggling within. You know, look at the NDA as well overall. You know, even the Chief Minister of Bihar, Nitish Kumar, coming out and sounding, you know, hoping for support coming across, you know, as far as states come out, the center comes out and support his agenda of a special status. As far as issues go for the BJP, for the RSS, there's a lot which needs to be sorted out, you know, given a sense of the 2014 elections as well.
Well, there's a much larger battle at play over here, Aditya. A battle between the Gadkari RSS view of joint leadership ahead of 2014. There's a very strong view which believes that if you bring in someone like a Narendra Modi, he will be a hugely polarizing factor, and he will give the Congress the entire minority vote bank. They believe the election will become a referendum on Narendra Modi as opposed to being a referendum of the policies and the performance of the Congress government. Therefore, this group of leaders led by the RSS, you know, whose public face was Nitin Gadkari as the BJP president in Delhi, believe that there should be collective leadership. The election should be positioned as a referendum on the policies of the Congress government. However, there is another group which believes that Narendra Modi is the champion of the cadre. The cadre are firmly behind him. They believe that the Hindutva party should have a leader who's a mascot of Hindutva, and that they believe that he can rally the cadre on the ground and give the BJP party rank and file a certain sprint, a certain energy, which a collective leadership does not provide. That is the battle that is also playing out, because the RSS believes that the events have been timed in a manner that Nitin Gadkari is made to trip over just in time for his presidentship to get over, so that if the presidentship gets over and he doesn't get a second term, somebody else needs to come in. That scenario favors Narendra Modi. So there's a much larger battle taking place, which is why it isn't just a question of Nitin Gadkari stepping aside following these allegations. This will impact how the Bharatiya Janata Party also approaches the 2014 elections. It's a much larger game, which is why Gadkari is still on the seat that he is, and despite all the charges that have been leveled, which he hasn't been able to adequately explain, he still hasn't been asked to go. But that could change very soon as more and more leaders come out. This is, you know, they've been called the Bharatiya Jhagda Party in the past. As more people come out and voice their opinion against Nitin Gadkari, this will get very embarrassing and very tricky for the RSS top brass as well, I think.
All right, of course. Is there a real alternative for the BJP? Can Nitin Gadkari actually leave that void, and, you know, you have the Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi come in and fill that void? Rahul Kamal, thanks very much for joining us with your inputs on this story. Kartikeya Sharma was also with us. Kartikeya, look at these comments which have been coming across from Nitin Gadkari as well. You know, you look at that latest comparison between Swami Vivekanand and Dawood Ibrahim. I mean, these are some things, you know, these comments which have made his case worse. At the end of the day, this is a public forum in which he's making these comments, you know, battling all these charges, and brings down his overall case.
You see, there are two things to Nitin Gadkari's profile as we speak. One are the corruption charges, the investigation which is being held by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs on Purti investment. Now, the second, I would say, the broader charge against Mr. Gadkari is that the language he uses, and the sort of politics he does, the innuendos, the choice or the phrase of words. For example, the words which he used for a couple of Congress leaders, that they grovel in front of Sonia Gandhi, or for example, the word which he chose to compare Dawood Ibrahim in terms of IQ with Swami Vivekanand. So I would say that it has affected the larger persona of the president, and as Rahul was saying, that the dynamics is much more complex. It's not only about the way BJP is poised towards Congress party in terms of the forthcoming, the coming winter session of the parliament. It's also about the internal dynamics as to what play and say the RSS will have, what senior leaders post Vajpayee and Advani, who were actually groomed by them from 1999 to 2004, have to say on the second tenure of Mr. Gadkari. You see, the broad picture here is that Mr. Gadkari was foisted by RSS on the leadership of Bharatiya Janata Party. If you look at the pantheon of the leaders who were groomed by Advani and Vajpayee, it includes Sushma Swaraj, Arun Jaitley, Jaswant Singh, Yashwant Sinha, the front benchers. They were cabinet ministers, and suddenly you had Mr. Nitin Gadkari from nowhere, and he went on to become the leader, and then also he was on the verge of getting the second tenure as the president of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So I would say the interplay is much more complex, but yes, there is pressure on Mr. Gadkari within the leadership, which was nurtured by Vajpayee and Advani duo.
All right, Karthik, when you look at the overall picture as well, for the Congress party, you made this point as well. The BJP seems to be on self-destruct. This is not the first time that this has happened. The moment the Congress goes on the back foot, there's some issue or the other. And this time, on this occasion, a major one at that, involving their president. But this has happened in the past as well. These fissures, these murmurs have come forth in the past as well.
See, it's only about opportunity. If you remember, between 2008 and 2009, whenever Congress had to attack Bharatiya Janata Party, they could only take Yediyurappa's name and they would say, look at Yediyurappa,
yes.
Look at the corruption charges. Now, when they have to attack Bharatiya Janata Party in context of corruption, they will not say Yediyurappa, they'll say, look what Mr. Nitin Gadkari has done. And electorally and in terms of parliamentary politics, imagine the president of a party directly being directly investigated by Ministry of Corporate Affairs. It will be very embarrassing for the leader of the house or any leader sitting there for the fact in Lok Sabha to defend the president. He might take a moral high ground, the bravado that I'm open for investigation, but doesn't cut much ice when it comes to the electoral politics. And the party and the seniors in Bharatiya Janata Party do realize that.
And this is a very influential group. Let me just put that question to Sanjeev Srivastava, senior journalist now joining us. Sanjeev, you look at these names coming across, Ram Jethmalani, Jaswant Singh, Yashwant Sinha, you've already had that resignation from Mahesh Jethmalani as well. Can this pressure group actually, go ahead and accomplish what they've set out to? Can Nitin Gadkari actually, pay heed to this pressure and step down?
See, I still don't foresee him stepping down before December. But what all this pressure and the politics within the BJP and the ripple effect it's having on the national polity is ensuring is that Nitin Gadkari by no chance can now get a second term. That's a given. But will the BJP really shoot itself by making him resign at this stage? That I think is a big question mark, because that can be debated both ways. If he stays on, every day he stays on, he causes damage to the party. The minute he steps down, again one can argue that there is more damage because that is some kind of an admission of guilt. So the best way is to let Nitin Gadkari play out his first innings and not given a second chance to bat for the BJP. And to sum it up really, I don't think the Congress could have thought of a better strategy. It is like all their prayers getting answered in the form of Mr. Gadkari. For all the trouble that the Congress itself is facing, the kind of allegations it is facing, Nitin Gadkari is a godsend.
All right, certainly the Congress have their prayers answered, don't they? Sanjeev Srivastava making that point. Thanks very much, Sanjeev, for joining us with the inputs.